Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives, back for another ranking video. Today I'm going to take a look at all 12 studio albums from Van Halen. To be honest with you, this is a ranking I've been wanting to do for probably well over a year. I was talking to a couple of friends here over this past weekend, and one of my friends asked me, when are you doing that Van Halen ranking? And I said, you know what, I will get on it. Started pulling out these albums and just, you know what, loving every minute of it, to be honest with you. Just reinforcing how ahead of their time Van Halen was. Excuse me. How innovative. And of course, you know Eddie Van Halen, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. May he rest in peace. But 12 studio albums to look at. This was a very important band to me, especially in the 80s. You know, they fell off a bit later on, but you know, only 12 studio albums to look at, so not a lot. I do have a couple concert experiences to talk about too. Fortunately, I got to see them twice, but unfortunately, I did not get to see them with David Lee Roth. So that's a bit sad, but oh well, what can you do? So the one concert I did get to see was on this tour for this kind of compilation album called The Best of Both Worlds. You all know that iconic image right there behind me. Anyways, they toured on that with Sammy on vocals. There's a few new tracks on this album too, but if you're looking for something, let me just grab this here. If you're looking for, you know, maybe you're just a best of Van Halen type of person, this is definitely one you could check out. It's a 2 CD set, a lot of good stuff on here. And another one you could check out is Van Halen Best of Volume 1. This one came out in 96. Yeah, 1996. And it featured a brand new track with two brand new tracks on there with David Lee Roth. And one of my favorite Van Halen songs actually is on there, and it's called Me Wise Magic. That magic song. Anyways, let's get into this ranking. I don't know if there's going to be many surprises here. With a Van Halen ranking, sometimes you're split with, you know, are you a David Lee Roth person, or are you a Sammy Hagar person, or you know what, maybe you love the one album from with Gary Sharon on vocals. I don't know, probably not, but you never know. So, and here we go. Let's start it off with, and no surprises, this one was featured on my Terrible Albums video. This is coming in number 12 is 1998's Van Halen 3. The only album to feature Gary Sharon on vocals. You would know him from the band Extreme. Not a band I'm personally into, but you know, Gary Sharon did a good job on here. It wasn't his fault that this was not a great album. Just not, the songwriting wasn't, you know, not a lot of memorable songs, but if I had to pick two tracks to check out on here, Without You and my favorite track, single favorite track, is Fire in the Hole. So coming in at number 12, their 11th overall studio album called Van Halen 3. Coming in at number 10, and you know what, starting here and up, these go from really good albums to fantastic to unbelievable. And those are the words I'll use because that's how I feel about a lot of these, because they are that good. But coming in at number 11, their 10th overall studio album from 1995. Last to feature Sammy Hagar on vocals. This one is called Balance. This one is kind of a darker, heavier album. And yeah, you're always going to be, with Van Halen, especially with the Sammy era, a lot of double entendre lyrics, things like that. You know, you kind of get used to that stuff. But a couple tracks on here. There's three little instrumentals. No, actually two little kind of ditties on here, and then there's one straight instrumental, which is very good. But check out the 7 Seal. My favorite two tracks on here might be Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do and Amsterdam. You know, the lyrics part of it, it's okay, but the music, so good. And like so many of these Van Halen albums, they're filled with awesome solos. And when you have a bottom end of Alex Van Halen and Michael Anthony, a lot of the times you don't even need a rhythm guitar in the background when Eddie's ripping out a solo. But anyways, coming in at number 11, Balance from 1995. Coming in at number 10, This one probably could be higher if I had, more years with it, because this was actually a pretty impressive album when it came out in 2012. This is the return of David Lee Roth, the exit of Michael Anthony, Wolfgang Van Halen on bass, but this is their 12th overall studio album. 12th overall studio album and last studio album. But this is 2012's A Different Kind of Truth. Like I said, the return of David Lee Roth. And as much as that song Tattoo gets kind of shit on, I don't mind it. It's catchy. Some other great tracks on here would be She's the Woman. Favorite tracks on here, I would say Bullethead, very heavy. And Big River, the second last track. Check that one out. And another thing about Van Halen, like I said, they're innovative. They're actually not afraid to take a chance or throw something totally off the wall in a song or in an album, like Ice Cream Man, or for example in this album, one called Stay Frosty. Coming in number 10, A Different Kind of Truth. Coming in at number 9, this one, surprisingly enough, I thought it would rank higher when I first initially, pulled all these off the shelf, but it didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to say it didn't stand the test of time, but it didn't hold up as well as others have for me. But coming in number 9, in the 9th spot, is their 7th overall studio album and first to feature Sammy Hagar on vocals. This is 1986's 5150. This is basically, not a continuation of 1984, but keyboard-wise, yes, very keyboard heavy, ballad heavy. My favorite tracks are more some of the heavier ones on here. So you all know the hits on here. Why Can't This Be Love? Dreams, Love Walks In. But track 9, Inside, that is a throwaway track. It's not that good. But my favorite track on here is track 3, called Get Up, and probably the first track, Good Enough. Besides that intro of Hello Baby, not a fan of that part. They could probably edit that out and I would like the song more. But yeah, coming in at number 9 is 1986's 5150. 5150, which iconic Van Halen. I mean, he had a studio. Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, 5150 is the police code in California for insanity or unstable person. Possible 5150, down at Planet Six Strings, probably. Anyways, let's get on to this next one. Coming in at number 8, their 8th overall studio album. From 1988, their second to feature Sammy on vocals, OU812. And you know what? I forgot something. I meant to tell you that I was going to rank the last of these in my original cassettes, but I'll pull some of those out right away. But so this is the second album to feature Sammy on vocals. This one is a little more guitar driven and less on the keyboards. They're still there, but I would say, like I said, a little more guitar driven. Lots of great solos again. This track listing is out of order compared to the actual CD, but we will pick out some tracks. My favorite tracks, again, probably looking at some of the Source of Infection, awesome, heavy track, quite heavy. I don't mean ultra heavy by any means, but definitely a great track. Sucker in a 3-piece. Besides the corny lyrics that are this song, the music is superb. Check that one out. Finish What You Started. Enjoy that song, Black and Blue. AFU, Naturally Wired. Yeah, solid album. I really enjoy this one and enjoyed it when it came out. So yeah, I was talking to you about those cassettes. So I have 9 of them actually. So there's 5150, my original cassette. And then there is OU812, which we just ranked as the number 8 Van Halen album. And let's continue. So coming in at number 7, this is actually an album that you will see on, people's terrible album list. Probably you can justify it to an extent. There is 5 cover songs on this album, but I'd say two of the cover songs are, they're made, with the Van Halen sound. They actually sound fantastic. But coming in at number 7, their 5th overall studio album from 1982 is Diver Down. Was it rushed? I'm not sure. Did they not have enough material to throw together a full album? But the cover songs that I'm talking about, Where Have All the Good Times Gone? I love that track. Original tracks that are really cool to check out on this one: Hang 'Em High, Secrets. There's 3 guitar kind of instrumental intros. One's called Intruder, which is before the song Oh Pretty Woman, which I could probably do without that one. Little guitar is fantastic, and the Full Bug. But there's some throwaway stuff on here, absolutely. Happy Trails, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now, but still, it's got that solid Van Halen sound. I still do love this album, believe it or not. Well, not believe it or not, but I still hold it in high regard. So coming in at number 7, Diver Down from 1982. And there is my original cassette on Warner Brothers. Nice little souvenir. Glad I kept a lot of those, to be honest with you. All right, coming in at, where are we? Coming in at number 9. And I got to see them on this tour. We'll just show you the album first. This is my favorite of the Sammy era of Van Halen. This is For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, coming in at number 6. Their 9th overall studio album from 1991. Yeah, I got to see them on this tour, and I'm glad that was the tour that I got to see them for the very first time. Besides, wishing that I would have seen them years ago. But here's my original ticket stub. For the life of me, I can't remember who opened. I don't know. I want to say Tesla, but I always want to say Tesla with what I can't remember. But yeah, Sunday, November 10th, 1991. So that album was released in probably, I think, July. So, a few months after. $34.50. Yeah, you're not going to a show for that kind of money anymore. But yeah, what an album. This is the, I don't want to say, because there's still some, those double entendre lyrics on here, but it's just a more of a, not professional is not even the right word, just more, I don't know, grown-up-ish. I don't know how to describe it, but it's solid, maybe heavy. That's the heavier for sure. When you bust into, here's my original cassette. You hear the start of this, that drill, and right into Pound Cake. I mean, Pound Cake, they're in the mid section, or the mid part of that song. There is a breakdown with the solo. It is ultra heavy. I love it. Pound Cake, Judgment Day. A couple other my favorite tracks on here are Runaround, fantastic. But check out Pleasure Dome. It is probably top, I'd say definitely in my top 20 favorite Van Halen songs. Pleasure Dome. Right Now, you all know that song probably through, sometimes they use it for sports and stuff like that. Top of the World to end it off, but there is my number 6 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. And this next one up, this has got a lot of meaning for me. Sometimes I see it way higher on the list, and then I see it, even down a few spots from where I have it. But I discovered Van Halen in late 1983, and then just dug into the back catalog like nothing. But here is my original cassette of 1984. Still even has the Warner Brothers sticker on there. But yeah, I remember buying this on release day. Watched the video for Jump over and over on Canada's Much Music. Then you got the other top hits, which the top hit, if I honestly, if I never hear Jump, Panama, or Hot for Teacher again, I'm good. The deep tracks on here are what I love. Drop Dead Legs. All Wait is a fantastic song. House of Pain, to wrap it up. Girl Gone Bad. Yeah, House of Pain, by the way, it's one of those songs where the chorus is the the vocals come in and they almost feel like they don't fit. They just are kind of thrown on top of the music. But then when it comes to the, not the chorus, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. But just listen to that track. Really, really solid track, House of Pain. But yeah, coming in at number 5, their 6th overall studio album, which 1984. I do have on CD too. This is the remastered version. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these on vinyl yet, so maybe we can fix some of that come Christmas time. But so the last 4 here are, for me, they're the cream of the crop. You could put any 4 of these albums in any different order and not be wrong, in my opinion. No one's wrong anyways, right? But as far as these go, these are where I feel like, you know what, Van Halen was ahead of their time. Like I said, not afraid to take a chance, very innovative. But coming in at number 4, their 2nd overall studio album from 1979, Van Halen II. Just honestly, these are all masterpieces in my opinion. There's the back cover, some very cool shots. 1979, you weren't hearing, stuff like this, or maybe some stuff close to this. But yeah, here's my original cassette. There is not a weak track on here. Light Up the Sky, instrumental, Spanish Fly, DOA, Beautiful Girls, You're No Good, Dance the Night Away, Somebody Get Me a Doctor. Check that track out. Actually, play that one. Go look it up. You were immediately, what comes to my mind is you will hear, if you're a fan of Dokken, you will hear the beginning of Into the Fire, and then the riffs goes into, if you know the song by Wasp called Mantronic, that is almost not the exact same riff, but very, very close. So yeah, check out Somebody Get Me a Doctor, and you'll hear those things. I mean, Van Halen riffs and things are, they're borrowed throughout lots of metal bands, hard rock bands, but you know what? Give them credit where it's due. But coming in at number 4 is Van Halen II from 1979. This where it kind of got tough. I shuffled one last minute because I just couldn't make up my mind because they're all that good. But coming in at number 3 is their 1st overall album from 1978, just entitled Van Halen. Just another iconic album, iconic album cover. There's the back. Of course, we have the flamboyant David Lee Roth, awesome vocalist. Yeah, right from the start, Running with the Devil. And speaking of iconic solos or intros, Eruption, that comes in before the cover of You Really Got Me Now. Classics like Ain't Talking About Love, Ice Cream Man, there's one of those songs I was mentioning. And to wrap it up on a fantastic, kind of heavier song called On Fire. Coming in at number 3 is Van Halen's self-titled debut from 1978. And that leaves 2 left, and my 2 favorite Van Halen albums. And I'm not going to say by far, but they're the 2 that I go to the most often when I pull out some Van Halen. But coming in at number 2, their 3rd overall studio album from 1980, Women and Children First. The first half of this, the whole album's good. There is only 9 tracks. There's really only 8 tracks. One is an instrumental called Tora Tora. There is the back cover. And the Cradle Will Rock. When I first heard that, I was like just truly blown away. The guitar and into the whole song rocks. Everybody Wants Some, Fools, Romeo Delight, Loss of Control. Check out the starting riff of Loss of Control. That's a riff that you will hear throughout lots of metal albums. Take Your Whiskey Home. Could This Be Magic might be the weakest track on this album, but it wraps up really strong in a song called In a Simple Rhyme. But there's my number 2. Women and Children First. And I forgot to show you those cassettes. So there's that. There's my original Van Halen, self-titled, and there's Women and Children First. And that only leaves one. You've guessed it by now. You know the band. My number one is Fair Warning from 1981. This is Van Halen's 4th overall studio album. And again, not a weak track on this album. This is just solid start to finish. There's the back cover. And there is that cassette. So you got, starting off with Mean Street. The guitar riffs throughout this whole album. Fantastic. Awesome solos. Dirty Movies, Sinner's Swing. Hear About It Later. Track 5, Unchained. One of my all-time favorite Van Halen. Probably top 3, to be honest with you, as far as those songs or favorite songs go. Push Comes to Shove. So This Is Love. Instrumental, Sunday Afternoon in the Park. And then wraps up with One Foot Out the Door. If you've not checked out, at least, if you haven't checked out older Van Halen albums, actually the 4 I just showed, even 1984, it doesn't matter. They're all very, very good. And I don't think even a best of would justify how good some of these albums are. But that is my Van Halen ranking of all 12 studio albums. And I kind of was going to throw this in here too. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that part of it. Let me know your favorite Van Halen albums in the comments section. Always love to hear from you guys. But I don't plan on ever really doing a David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar solo works ranking. There's a lot of those albums I just don't even have a desire to own, but there's some key albums that I will definitely own. So here is my favorite David Lee Roth album. This is Eat 'Em and Smile. So this is his first full-length studio album after he left Van Halen, 1986, I believe. And my favorite Sammy Hagar solo album is from 1981. This is called Standing Hampton. Just some great tracks on here too. I'll Fall in Love Again. There's Only One Way to Rock. Baby's on Fire. Very, very solid album produced by Keith Olsen. But yeah, if you want to check out some, Sammy or Dave solo stuff, here's a couple. There is more from both of these guys that is very solid. But anyways, that's it for today. I will catch you in the next video. And until next time, stay heavy.